Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. Today's video is a little bit different. We are going to be doing the wrap up of all of my favorite things from the year of 2022. I figured today was the best day to do this and share with you all of my fun, different favorites from the year. So first, we're going to talk about my favorite or most used supplies. So I've got my top 10 here. Not all of them are right here, but I've got a few. So number 10 is my lap desk, which is not pictured here. It's too big to fit in the screen. But I use that constantly. I color quite often on the couch upstairs. So that is a necessity for me. And it really helps me get a lot of work done. Number 9 are the Artistro paint pens. I started using these on a few different projects. And I do like the colors. You do have to make sure they're very well mixed. So lots of shaking, lots of priming. However, they cover pretty well. And then I was really surprised that the Artistro white paint pen works almost as well as my Poscas. So this is, you know, when I'm out of Poscas or something, I always have a few of these extra laying around so that I can use those as well. So number 8 are my Black Widows. Those aren't pictured down here either right now, but I love my Black Widow pencils. They are probably my second favorite pencils out of all of my pencils. And yeah, just the color range, the blendability. You can use it for fur and hair. You can also use it for other, you know, backgrounds and things like that. I just like the versatility of them. Number 7 is my electric sharpener, and this is a kind of a huge thing, but I just got this year. I'm gonna just kind of tilt it in here. So it's this giant Boss Stitch Quiet Sharp, and it's actually like a classroom sharpener. So there's these little suction cups on the bottom, so it stays in place whenever I go to put my pencils in. It doesn't move around. And it says Quiet Sharp, but it's not very quiet. But maybe compared to other electric sharpeners it is, but I have no idea. But I like it because it's got different settings, so I can fit my thicker pencils and my thinner pencils in there. So yeah, so number 6 are stickles. You guys probably know this by now. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that I use stickles on almost every single page. And if I don't use stickles, I use my number 5, which are my Sparkle Pop pens and my Tiara pens. So these sparkly gel pens, specifically the gold and silver ones. Oh, those are both silver. Where's my gold one? Yeah, so specifically my gold and silver pens. This one's, I think, out of ink. Might be. These two I use so much. And then I've started using these Tiara ones when I want different colors of ink on there, but still with the sparkly goodness. Then number what are we on? Number 4. Now this is kind of a double for this one. So I really love using my Neocolor 2s, and I love using my soft pastels. Now these pastels I typically use for backgrounds. I've used them with like to make really soft backgrounds, to do some stencils, use stencils with these. That was really fun. And then my Neocolors, you know, I adore these pencils. I use them as a base for most of my Aeri pages, and in my Rita Berman books, Kirby Rosanna's books, you name it, I'll use them. In my Hannah Carlson books, I use these a lot. I really love them. So yeah, so that is number 4. Number 3 are my Poscas. I typically use the white. I have also found now that I like the ivory and the beige. Those are my 3 most used colors. I do have a few pastel colors that I'll reach for every once in a while as well, but typically those are it. I try to never run out of my white Posca because I use it constantly. Number 2, my Prismas. I didn't want to bring my whole big set of Prismas over, so I just grabbed a few of my refills that are sitting over here to the side. Prismacolors are just the best pencil for me, at least. I love how soft they are. They're not hard on my hands when I'm coloring for a long time. Super easy to do backgrounds with these guys. Maybe not the best for fur and hair, but I have enough other pencils that it's not a concern for me. These are, the color range is fantastic. I can't find other pencil companies, except for maybe Black Widows, that have the nice range from the very lightest color all the way through to really dark colors. So yeah, Prismas, love them. And then my number one, most favorite, most used supply of 2022 are my alcohol markers. So I've got Ohuhu's Copics, these Winsor & Newton brush markers, and these Prismacolor Premiers. I love my alcohol markers. They have been so helpful to get pages done really fast. But yeah, so alcohol markers are my top favorite and most used supply of 2022. Okay, so next we are going to move on to my favorite whips of the year. Okay, so these I've narrowed down to 5 of my favorite whips. I didn't actually have too many whips. I was pretty proud of myself. Now, too many for me is probably way too many for somebody else, but for me, it's not terrible. But these are my top 5 ones that I wish I could have finished. That's what I mean by favorite whips, or, you know, whips that it started really good and then I just couldn't finish it for some reason or other. So the first one is in the Rita Berman summer book, and it is this beautiful beach scene. I really wish I could have finished this. I love this page. I've seen it done multiple times. I got stuck on the sky. I just couldn't decide what kind of sunset I wanted, what colors I wanted in the sky. So I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to get back to this and finish it up, because I really love this page. This layout is beautiful. And I can just, you know, I know that I want some sort of sunset. I just don't know what exactly. And I think it was just, I don't know, that was my stopper. But so this one is one of them. The next one I have is from Animals. This is one of the pages that I had started with my water-based markers and then never got back to it. I just love this little otter's face. I really like the colors of the leaves that I've chosen so far. And I think it'd be a really cool page once it's done. Yeah, but I just kind of stalled out. I think that this was the same month that I did all the mythographic pages. And I think I was done. I was done with the mythographic pages. But yeah, I really like the way that this one started, and I'm bummed that I didn't get it finished. But that's not to say I won't finish it at some point. Okay, so that one is from Mythographic Animals. Then I have one in this book. So this is World of Fairies by Jana Pro Serena. I started this background, and I love the way that this is going so far. So it just has the alcohol marker base, and then the background was all done with chalk pastels, and I had found this really pretty background on Pinterest. So I tried to replicate it as best I could with the chalk pastels, and really like the way that it was going. I wish I would have been able to come back in and finish that up. But really all I need to do is come in with my pencils and do some shading, and it'll be good to go. So yeah, so that is one that I wish I would have finished. And then I've got one in Fairy, another one by Jana Pro Serena. And this one is one that has been a whip for a really long time. I did get a little bit more done on it this year, but it's still in progress. I got the top part of her dress done, some flowers, started these other flowers, and then just kind of was done. I don't know what about this is not letting me finish, but I couldn't finish it. And I really wanted to this Halloween. I thought it would be a really cute one to have done. So, and I did start some of her hair here too. I think I have everything written down for all the stuff that I'm using. So hopefully I'll be able to finish it. But so yeah, so that is that one from Fairy. And then the last one that I have here is in Romantic Country. This is another one that is it's almost done. So close to being done. And I just keep looking at it and I just haven't finished it. I don't know what is stopping me. The only thing I have to do is, like, behind the books here, I have this sign at the top, this little stained glass window, these crates, this like tablecloth thing, and then some shading on the bottom here, and that's it. Everything else is done. The books were what took forever, and I really love the color palette that I've used, and yeah, I just need to finish. That's all I gotta do. So yeah, so that is one that I wish I would have finished. So those were my top 5 favorite whips of 2022. Next, we're going to do my favorite new books. Okay, so my favorite new books of 2023. I have my top 10 here. So first, we've got this one from Marjorie Sarna. This is Enchanted coloring book. This is one that I was really very surprised by. Like I like Marjorie Sarna, but I really love this book. Like this one especially. I think it's just such a beautiful page. Lots of beautiful pages in here, and they're all very, yes, they all have like a magical element about them, but they're all different, and I think that that's really fun in a book. I just think this is such a fun book. That one would be really cute for Easter with all those little bunnies. That's beautiful. So yeah, so that is one of my favorites of this year. So that's Enchanted. Next one is R.J. Hampson. Now, I could have substituted this one for, you know, I've got Night Garden and Dragon Dreams. Those are both just gorgeous books. And this one is just, it's so fun. I love his artwork. I have not colored anything in these yet, and I don't know why. I'm not sure if it's because I'm worried about, I don't know what it is. I love looking at them. I think they're beautiful pictures. Like this one I want to color for winter. I think it's just so cool. Yeah, I haven't colored anything yet, but really love this. Really love this book. So this is For a Song by R.J. Hampson. Then we've got Your Yuri Mouse Travel. I don't know what the whole word is, but yeah, and I've only have one small page started in this, and this book is, I mean, it's just stunning. And I'm sure you've seen this on many people's channels before. The only thing I have done is a couple of pumpkins. I was testing pencils, and I don't even remember which pencils they were. And I thought if I just started something that it would give me that jump start, but it hasn't yet. So yeah, I like this book a lot. And I think there are a couple of good, even though it's leans a little more towards Christmas. I like this picture, I think is really cute for winter. So cute. Such a cute book. Okay, so that is that one. Next is Rooms of Wonder. Again, another one that I have not colored in yet, but I'm so excited to try it. I know a lot of people are having issues with the paper in the US version. I have not tested that out yet, so we will see if I'm going to need to reorder in the UK version. I know several people already have done it and just haven't even attempted to work with the paper, but it does feel different. But I think it's more like Kirby paper, maybe. I think that's what she had said. Maybe I saw that somewhere. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But I'm going to try. We're going to try to work with this one and see what happens. Again, it's just gorgeous. Like, so beautiful. So this one is one that is on my radar for this year, for sure. This coming year. Okay, next we have Mythographic Voyage. When this came out, I think this was the first one that didn't have any hidden objects, and the coloring community rejoiced. And then on top of it, it's just a stunning book. Just absolutely stunning. There are so many pages in this book that I want to color. It's ridiculous. And so far I have one completed page and one whip, and that's it. So there's my completed page, which I adore it. I love the way everything turned out on this page. So fun. And then I have, gosh, I mean, you just stop on a page and you go, holy crap, how does somebody draw that? Yeah, and then here is my whip. So I was trying to do a Christmas color one, and I didn't get back to it. But excited to work in this one more this year. So that's Mythographic Voyage. Then this one it's not a new book, but it's new to me. So this is the Enchanted Faces book. And I got this I don't remember why. I'm sure I saw it on somebody else's channel, but so that's a whip there. But I got it and I just started coloring in it, and I was just like, these are really fun to color in. Yeah, and every other month or so I have a finished page in this. I've got several whips in here now. So I just need to work on those a little bit. But that will be a project for this year, actually, which I'm very excited about. Okay, so next we have Fantasy Realm, which is from Jana Pro Serena. This is one of the coolest books that I think she has out. I really like the variety of characters in here and the different animals, and yeah, I just think it's cool. The different, like, there's portraits, there's far away, there's whole big scenes. This just sparked my creativity so much when I first got it. And I love that she has males in these books as well. So yeah, I'm so excited to color this book. I do have one finished page. It is this one here, which I really love. And you might see this again here in the next section. And then, oh, no, I have two finished pages. I forgot about this one. This one, now it doesn't look like much when you photograph it, but in person, man, it is sparkly and shiny and shimmery, and it's just so fun. I used, what is it called? Probably, it was either the gesso or the satin glazing liquid in the background, and then was able to use water mediums to do that on this paper without it going completely crazy buckled, which was nice. But yeah, love this one too. So that is Fantasy Realm. And then my favorite book, new book to me, was 50 Farmers Miniatures. This book is so ridiculously cute. I have colored multiple pictures already. I have plans for others. It's just, I don't know. Camellia's books are fun and easy and cute. I did that one with all crayons, which was really fun. Yeah, they're just fun. And I was able to get very creative in these books, which was really nice. There's that one. I'm not going to show you a couple of these other ones because they're going to show up in another video. So we're going to just flip to the front here. And there's that one too. So yeah, I'm going to show you these two other ones that I did in here. But I started with this one. I was just like, holy cow, that was so fun. I'm coloring more and more and more in this book. So I've got two others to show you from this one, but that's going to be in the next section, which is my favorite backgrounds of the year. Okay, so this next section is my top 10 favorite backgrounds from the year, and some of them have overlapped with other things that you'll see in the video or that you have already seen, but I can't help it, they're my favorite. So first, we have two in the romantic country. This is, I just love this book. So the first one is this one. I really like the magical effect of the different colors in the background. I love that I was able to use pencils and kind of blend it and make it look flowy and just pretty. It just makes me smile. I just like it. And it's always good when a coloring page that you've done does that for you. So that is one of them. And then another one is this one. I love the colors that I used. I wish I would have made the trees a little darker or lighter or something, a little bit different than the colors that I used in the sky, but overall, it just now looks like, you know, sky altogether. I don't know. I think it's cool. And I love this little glowy effect that I got here. Yeah. And this page overall is it's just really pretty and makes me smile. But yeah, I really like the background colors that I used in this one. So there are those two. Then another one from Aeri, actually. So this one is the one from the fairy tales one, and this is the Rapunzel. Come here, where are you? This is this one. Again, I used pencils on this background, which took ages. This is a color along on the channel if you're interested in following along at all. But I was really inspired by some art that I had seen where they had done like a little lantern kind of thing in the sky, and I tried to replicate it and had fun doing it, and like the end result. So that's really all that matters. But yeah, I like that background. Then we go to another pencil background. So this one is in Europa. This is the van page that I did. This is a very soft background, but again, really like how the colors all blend together. I'm pretty sure that this is Prismacolors. I was going to say it was Black Widows, but I think this one's Prismacolors. I just wanted a pastel kind of look. I started with this van as a pastel, and I was like, okay, everything's going to be pastel. So yeah, really like the way that that background ended up turning out. I thought that was cool. Really like this page too. And then next we have one from Botanica. And this is also a, yeah, so it's this side. It's also a pencil background. This one is with Black Widows. And this one, I wasn't really sure what I was doing, but it turned out pretty cool in the end. And I got a lot of love for this on Instagram. A lot of people really enjoyed the background. I think maybe it's just the combination of colors. I think that that's a big part of it, but also the way, again, colors flow from one into the other. And you have lighter areas and darker areas, and it just is, it's pretty cool. So yeah, so there is that. And then I've got another pencil background. I did a lot of pencil backgrounds. This one in this Jashly Fantasy is another one where it's, again, I used more of a bokeh effect. So I've got those white circles, but then you've got colors flowing into one another and moving around. And it's not a whole lot of background, but still really fun to do. Really fun to do. Okay, and then on this one I did, so this is one that you just saw in the last section, actually. So this one is one of my favorite backgrounds because this is the first time I really used like a, I used some distress inks in the background, and then I used a, distress inks, and then I used a stencil to do this fun detail. So that was really, it was a neat way to use my stamping and scrapbooking supplies on my coloring papers, my coloring pages. And that kind of kicked off a whole thing. So I have several other pages where I've done something similar to that, and started buying up stencils left and right. So now I have a bunch of stencils. But yeah, so I really like the way that that turned out. It's really fun. It is something that you're going to want to use on a single-sided image, especially if you're using the distress inks and water, because it'll end up bleeding through. But I have used stencils with my chalk pastels. It's going to be a lot lighter, but you can make it work. And then you do need to seal it when you are done so that it doesn't move. But it's pretty fun to use those just to get a nice soft look. I wish I don't have that handy, or I would show you the page. Maybe I'll just post it on screen here so you can kind of see the softness compared to this vibrancy. But yeah. So yeah, so using stencils on my backgrounds is really fun, and it's one of my favorite things to do now. So that is in Fantasy Realm. Next, we have another pencil background in A Million Magical Creatures. It is this one. I love the way it turned out. I hated the process of it. I can use Prismas in this book. However, if you start to have to press hard or kind of do a lot of layers, the paper starts to resist it. And it gets really frustrating when you want it to be a nice smooth blend, and it won't. But I think I did a pretty decent job. I do like the color range going from really dark purple to really light yellow. I love that range of colors. Yeah, so this background was one of my favorites, even though it was a pain in the butt to do. It turned out really cool. Really cool. Okay, so there is that one from A Million Magical Creatures. And then last but not least, we have two from Farmer's Miniatures. So the first one is, well, I'm just going to show you this. And the first one's this one. I had so much fun playing. This was done on I think it's a weekend whip video, and I just decided out of the blue that I was going to make a plaid, and I had never done it before, and I used alcohol markers and a little bit of pencil and some chalk pastel to make it a little bit colored instead of white, and it was really fun to do, and it just made this page perfect for me. It just made the page. Yeah, and I loved it. And it didn't get as much love on Instagram as I thought it should, but I love it. It makes me smile every time I look at it, and I remember how much fun I had doing it. So that's really what matters, right? That's what you're wanting. And then this one is the last one. I really love the way this one turned out too. I drew in this little trellis thing and all the vines and flowers around the outside, and then just did a fun bokeh effect with my pencils in the middle, and added some grass back here. Just again, was just experimenting and trying to have fun with it, and really like the way that this one turned out too. So yeah, so those are all my favorite backgrounds. Next, we are going to move on to my favorite and or most colored in artists. Okay, my next list is my favorite and or most colored in artists of 2022. So just to start, I'm going to let you know that I colored about, I think, 168 pages for the year. And I think I did about 43 different artists, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So top 10, here we go. Number 10 in amount. We're just going to go with amount. But also these are all favorites of mine as well. And then I'll tell you how many. But anyway, so number 10, Ursula Schwab. I adore her, and of course I picked a book that's next to me that I don't have any finished pages in right now. But come on. Look at her artwork. It's so cute. I love every single book that I have of hers. And yeah, I have several marked in here to color. I do have one buddy color that I'm hopefully going to be able to finish this month, because it's been put off for a couple months, and I am thankful that my buddy is very patient. But yeah, love this book, love all of her books. So, and it's according to my wonderfully terrible record keeping, I think I've colored 5 pages in these books, 5 pages for the year. So not a ton, but still a nice amount. So that was number 10. Number 9 is Rita Berman. I thought she would be higher up, but I guess in my favorite, she's probably a little higher, but in the amount of pages I actually got done, she's number 9. So I did 6 pages in her books this year. 2 of them are in this book, which I love this book, and I'm so thankful to my buddies who helped me color in this. So I did this one, which is just a really unusual, fun palette for me. And then the one that I just showed you a minute ago, which is the Van one, which is right here. So definitely want to color more in this book. I have seen so many people do just beautiful work in these. And yeah, I want to color more. But according to my records, I colored 6 of them. 6 Rita Berman ones. So next we have Tatiana Bogaman. I think 4 of the books are in, or 4 of the, so according to my records, I colored 6 pages by her this year. 4 of them I think are in this book. And I love every single one of them. They're just fun and bright and vibrant and happy. I love the background on this one too. Oh, I forgot about that background. This probably would have qualified for one of my favorites as well. It was really fun to do. But yeah, love this book. Excited to keep working in this one. Stay tuned for my books to finish video coming out soon. And I'm going to go ahead and just say that this is going to be on that list. It's not going anywhere. I love it too much. Okay, so So yeah, so Tatiana Bogaman had 6 completed pages in her books. Next we have Aeri, which again, I thought that this would be higher up, so it's just a little surprising. But I did 7 pages in the Aeri books. A couple of them were in this one, so that's an almost. It'll be really soon that I can say that I finished that one. I finished this one this year, and this one, and this one. I think those are the only 3 that I did this year. I think everything else is finished different times. This one's another one that's almost done. But yeah, so those 3 in Romantic Country. And again, this is going to be on that list. It's staying on my list because it makes me happy to color in it. So, yep, 7 completed pages in Aeri. Okay, number 6 on my list is Joseph Kattenbang, and I have colored 7 pages by him this year. So having that little, I did a month where I focused on mythographic books. That really helped. It really helped. But of course, you've seen the one in this one that I've finished, which is this beautiful one. Again, every time I open it, I have to move it around so I can see all the glitter and the shine. It just, I just love it. Okay, so yeah, so 7 pages by Joseph Kattenbang this year. Number 5, right? 5? Yeah, number 5. Maria Trolley. I have 9 pages colored in her books this year. So I did a few of them in here. This one was done in January of this year. Both of these, this had been a WIP, but I completed it this year. So both of these guys were done. I don't remember when I finished this one. I don't remember. I want to say it's this year, but I don't know for sure. I really like it though. This one, yep, which I really like the way that one turned out. And this one, which you're going to see in the next section because this is one of my favorite pages. And this one, which that was a fun experiment to do the rainbow, make her like a hippie in the flower fields and have a rainbow going across her. Oh, and these guys, I forgot about this. I did the nameplate page and the little dragon up there. So yeah, quite a few in Botanicum, which is good since this is one of my books to finish eventually. So that was number, what did I say, 6? Number 5. Number 5. Number 4 is a mix. So I don't have another book by her right now, but it's Teresa Goodrich. So pretend there's a book of hers here and Marjorie Sarnett. Together, I'm kind of combining them together because they're both, when I reach for my Creative Haven books, it's an either or. It's either hers or Teresa's. And they kind of go hand in hand with the amount of detail that I end up putting into them and, you know, trying to figure out what colors I want where. All of that is kind of you know, it's kind of the same effort for me for both of them. So they kind of get lumped into one category. Number 3 is Lulu Mayo with 11 colored pages, several of which are in this book right here. I love this book. I did this one. This is just one of my favorites, and I'm so glad that it exists. It just makes me happy to look at, to flip through, and to color in. So yeah, I've got this. It's staying on my list. It's coming back for more coloring next year, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, excited to color more in that. So that was 11 pages done in Lulu Mayo books. Number 2 would be Hannah Carlson with 12 colored pages in her books. Several, again, which are in this book. So I'll kind of flip through those. So there's that one. And I know that I've colored in multiple books this year by her. I did end up finishing this one this year, which made me really happy. I've got these two guys done. Getting so close to this book being finished, you guys. It's so close. I think I finished this side this year, or that might have been last year, and then I just did never get back. I can't remember. And then I have one more that I did finish this year, and it is the, where are you? The unicorn. So yeah, so love this book. Love all of her books. I would say she's probably in my top 5 favorite illustrators of all time for sure. So yeah, so 12 and Hannah Carlson books. And then my number one, right? Yeah, number 1. And this is for my favorite artists and most used. So this one is Fairy by Jana Pro Serena. I have only finished 2 in here this year, I think. So I finished this one, which was done in September with some really fun color palettes, and she's got some sparklies on her shoulder and her eyes and her lips. And again, that's another one where I did a stencil and distress ink background. That was really fun. And then I finished this one as well in April. She's got lots of glitter on her wings. I really think she's pretty. Yeah, and I wanted her to be soft and kind of Eastery, so when I was flicking, the color got on this side and kind of bled through a little bit, but that's okay. But yeah, so those are 2 of the ones that I finished in this book, and I just want to do more in here. This book just makes me happy to color in. So that one for Jana Pro Serena pages, I did 13 of those. So 2 in here, and then several in other books and different things. And then, so my most colored in artist was, she's a favorite for sure, but I love those other artists that I've mentioned more than her. But I figured I should go ahead and share this stat, I guess, as well with you. So my most colored in artist this year was Camellia Angelkova. I had 22 pages done in her books, which far and away beats out all of the other artists that I love, but they're easier to do. And I did that whole series in October where it was 12 pages of just her books, just her pages. So, yeah, it's just a fun, quick, easy color. Or I can make it a little more complicated if I want to, you know, with these guys, how these guys were. So that is my favorite or most colored in artists of 2022. And next we're going to do my top 10 favorite pages. Okay, so here we go. These are my top 10 favorite pages of 2022. I did do a post on Instagram, so you might have seen some of these already, but thought I'd share them again here too. So, number 10 in Mythographic Wild Winter is my Flamingo page. This one I was really unsure of when I was coloring it, but I just love the way it turned out. I think monochromatic pages just make me happy. I don't know what it is, but I just really like the look. Yeah, so I think that's why I like it so much. And then the little hints of gold in there too, and all of the sparkle and shimmer from the metallic watercolors and the stickles that are in there. Yeah, I just think it's a cool page. Really like it, makes me smile. So that's number 10. Number 9 is one in Seasons that I did this year, and it's this one. This, again, the color palette is, I love it. It's like, it's warm and cozy and happy and just, again, makes me smile. I like this color palette a lot. And this was one of the first color alongs I had done in a while. And so that was another kind of added bonus, was I got to have some people color along with me. So that was really nice. So yeah, so this is from Hannah Carlson. It's got I did a lot of Inktense work in this one, then went over top with some colored pencils, did the fur in different colored pencils. Yeah, just really loved the way this one turned out. So that was from Seasons. That's number 9. Number 8 is my Piggy and Camellia Angelkova. This little pig. I mean, the background made me happy, but then this little pig, this is what started it, because he's so cute. I just wanted the whole page to be perfect. So I worked really hard on the fruits and veggies. I worked really hard on his fur. He's just adorable. Like, look at him. He's so cute. But yeah, this, like I said before, this page just makes me smile thinking about how much fun I have, how hard I worked on it, looking at all the different references for beets and pears, and I was just like, and radishes. I didn't know how to color those things, so I had to look all those up. But I just love this page. It just makes me so happy. So number 8 is my little piggy. Number 7 is in Cocoa Witches. It's my beautiful orange page. This one was another one where it was a challenge, I think, to use only orange. I think it was Corey from Colorfully Optimistic had a challenge that just used orange, only orange. October, I think, was the hashtag. And so I've got some browns in there, but they're orangish browns. They have more of that orange undertone to them. And I've got some gold in there, but again, it's like an orangey gold. So I kind of finagled a little bit, but still think everything just works so well. And it's so sparkly because I have so much stickles on it. I'm really hoping that you guys can see some of that sparkle. There's so much stickles. But yeah, I love the way that the witch turned out. And the only, besides, even the green leaves have orange on them. I don't know if you can see that. The only part that doesn't have any orange are her eyes. And I just really wanted her eyes to pop. So I went, with the blue. This page makes me happy too. It's another one that's monochromatic. It just speaks to my senses for some reason. But yeah, love the way this one turned out. Super, super happy with that one. So that's from Cocoa Witches. Number 6 is my Owls page in Aeri, the Romantic Country Second Tale. It's this one. Again, just makes me happy. I had a lot of fun doing it. It's, again, another one where it's very magical, and I love the little dots in the background. I like how there's, I don't know, it just makes me smile. Yeah, love this page. I think it's really cool. And I like the little metallic dots that I put in there too. I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, there is that one from Romantic Country, the Second Tale. Then from Romantic Country, the Third Tale, I really liked my, nope, where'd you go? This one, the Carriage House. This one it's just cool. I don't know. I just thought it was neat. Really liked taking my time on the sign. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's like multiple colors just blended all together. Same thing on the house. You've got several different colors to create that white battered siding. Made sure to go through and get detail in on the grass, added in a few different vines. Tried to make sure that there was a little shadows from the sun setting. Yeah, just thought this was a really pretty page. So that is that one. So that is number 5. So number 4 is my Maria Trolley page, which you guys had just saw a little bit ago, and it's this one. I love this page. I love the greens and the orange and then this blue butterfly. And these are all the colors. These are all similar colors to what the actual items are, because I looked at the registry in the back to try to keep the colors as realistic as possible. Now, my coloring's not realistic, not necessarily, but the colors are just gorgeous. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but on these little flowers, there's multiple colors within each one to make them look white. So you've got a little bit of peach, a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow and pink, all kind of mixed together to get that white color. And then the orange and the green together. Her hair looks, I love her hair. I love it with all of that green. Love this page. Love it, love it. So that's number 4. Number 3 is in Nice Little Town Valentine's Day. This page was so fun to do. Sorry, I should have marked this one. Here it is. It's this one. It's the Say Anything page. It's really cute, but my favorite part really is the sky in the background. I just thought that was so fun, adding in the little heart constellation in the background, and there's like heart stars in the sky. I don't know if you'll be able to see those. Here, I'll hold it up so you can see a little bit better. But yeah, this was really fun. Used alcohol markers to start, and then just went through and colored everything in with pencils, and lots of white Posca here and there. And this was just a really fun page to do. And then for honorary mention in this book too, I really liked this page. Drawing in these little clouds and having them kind of heart-shaped. And then she's pointing up at them, and then drawing in these little extra little heart flowers in the background. Just made me happy. It was really fun. I'm excited to color in this more this February. So, yep, that is number 3. Number 2 is my Johanna Bassford mermaid page, which is this one. I love the way that this turned out. The colors are so pretty, and I drew in the mermaid, and that's really that's really why I like it so much, is because I had this idea to do it, and then I did it, and it actually worked. So yeah, I think it's so pretty. I really, really like it. I think over here I might have drawn in a couple of things as well. I don't know if this went all the way to the edge. I can't remember. But yeah, she meshes in so well and just kind of fits with the whole page. Now over here I might do another one. This mermaid, maybe we'll have one coming up this way and one coming this way. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, really like the hair color is beautiful, and the whole color palette, even though it's very limited color palette, it just worked. It worked well. So that is my second favorite page. And then my most favorite page that I did this year, which I'm sure you guys will know, is my curvy page from Mythomorphia. It's this bad boy. I love the way that this turned out. I was so excited when I finished this. I just love it. I love the background. I love the water. I love the Leviathan. What is this? What is that guy? A Bakunawa. That's what it is. I love the Bakunawa. I love the little rays and the fishes that are flying, and the octopus and these little ships. Everything worked out really well. And it was really fun to try different techniques. So I used water-based markers for a lot of the waves. I did ink tints on the Bakunawa itself. I made sure to have a nice yellow rim lighting from the moon. And then in the background had a bunch of I found an inspiration image, and that's kind of where I got my colors from. But in the background I have like different colored dots from my Poscas as like stars and things. And these little galaxy areas turned out so cool. And a lot of that was, trial and error into seeing what worked and what didn't. And yeah. So, yep, this is my favorite page of the year. And it's a shame that I don't have more curvy pages done, because I really like to look at them when they're done. It's just so fun to see a completed layout like this. But yeah, that is it. That is all of my favorite things from the year of 2022. It has been so fun to make videos for you all, to color this year, to read your comments. It's just been wonderful. And I, from the bottom of my heart, just thank you. Thank you all so much. I tell people that I have a coloring YouTube channel, and they just look at me like I'm crazy.
And I just think you don't know what you're missing. Like, it's just this community, this hobby is so fulfilling and so joyful that, yeah. Okay, so that's it for me. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday, and I wish the best for all of you in the new year. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you later. Bye.